What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Bugs' DCS Cruise. For this one, I'm going to give you guys another little gear review on the piece of hardware that I've been using for a little over a year now. It was August of 2024 is when I got the Virpil WarBRD-D joystick base. So, we're going to take a look at it. We're going to take it apart. I'm going to show you guys what it came with and whatnot. You guys can pick one of these up for $229 US, so that's not that bad. Just a little backstory before we get into the teardown of it. I came from the Thrustmaster Warthog, so wanted to stick with what I knew at the point in time was to go with the Thrustmaster Ava. So went ahead and did that, and I also was running the VFX grip. The Tomcat grip from Virpil worked beautifully with the Thrustmaster Warthog stick base, no issues. Got the Ava, went to plug it in, and that's when the problems started. So it was mapping certain buttons as they were combos, and they really weren't. So it just did not work out for what I was looking to do with it. So that went back, and here we are with the WarBRD-D. I do have to say it's been the most solid joystick base that I've had so far, and I've had quite a few of them over the years. This one is super smooth, relatively affordable, infinitely adjustable, which I'll touch on some of that in a little bit, and you can pretty much mount it anywhere you want. I ran mine with an extension. It worked out no problem. No noticeable wear and tear on the thing that was different. I know the Mongoose base is a little bit more native for an extension, especially I was running the 200 millimeter one, so it's a rather large one, but it worked no problem. So you guys keep that in mind if you guys are looking for one of these. It will work with the extension. So with all that being said, let's jump in. Let's take a look at what came with the base first. So we're going to look at the different cams, the springs, the mounting options, and some of the tools, and then we will tear this baby apart, and I will show you guys what the insides look like, how to swap the cams and the springs out, etc., etc. So let's bring it over here for a second. Here's all the goodies that it came with. I know they're in bags right now, so they might be a little hard to see with the glare, but that will change. Let's start with the mounting stuff first. As you guys could see, I have it on the Next Level Racing Boeing Edition sim pit. It bolted up no problem. If you guys want, you can get a desk mount for it. That works, one of the other clamping systems, but it does come with these little leaflets here, I guess you can call them. Let me just pop the two of them out of the bag here for you guys. Just bear with me for 1 second. Don't mind the shaky camera. Okay. So these will bolt up to the bottom of the joystick base, and this is what will let it sit on your desk for you guys. So you get 4 of them. You have to play with them and put them together. You can see the screw mounting hole right in the center here where my thumb is. It'll bolt on nice and easy, give you a nice wide stable platform. I didn't play with these at all because I bolted it right to the sim pit, so it really wasn't that big of a deal for me. But if you guys are using it on your desktop, that's exactly what those are for. The next thing, it's just another little bag of hardware. These are going to be for those little leaflets that I showed you for the legs before. So that's what all these various assorted screws, I guess you can call it, deal with. So like I said, I really didn't play with them. I had no need to, so you guys feel free to experiment on your own with your own setup, whatever works best for you. And then with that, we get all the different, assorted wrenches and tools and whatnot. So you guys could see the two opening wrenches here, various Allen keys. I do have two of them laying here. I will show you what those are for momentarily. Let's jump into the springs really quick. So you get 3 sets of springs with the WarBRD-D. You get a set of standard, heavy, and extra heavy springs. So the standard ones are the gold ones here. The heavy springs are silver, and the extra heavy are black. You guys are going to see those in a moment. Those are actually installed on the grip right now. So I'll show you guys how to change that out as you guys see fit. So you do have the option for that. And then the last part of that, this one's going to be a little interesting. We have all the different cams that come with it. So there are, I believe, 4 or 5 sets of cams. You could put them on as you see fit for the feel that you're looking for. You're going to have to read through the owner's manual for the joystick base to see what linear profile each one has, etc., etc. So I have the Thrustmaster with the Warthog cams in it, I believe they're called, on mine right now. So they are marked with little bumps or indents. Let me pop a few of them out of the bag really quick here, guys, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And each one is specific for where it goes, so you just have to pay attention. I could do, if there's enough interest, I could do a whole video on how to swap the cams and springs with the WarBRD-D base. Let me know in the comments, and if there's enough yeses and support for it, we'll definitely do that. So what I was talking about with the different cams, so I have 2 different ones here right now, guys. So you can see this one has a single ridge on the top of it, so it looks like a little mountain right at the tip of my thumb here, if the camera will focus. Okay, there it is. So you can see the little ridge there. That's one style cam. Now this one here, you can see has 2 of them on the back side up over here. So that's going to be how you tell and identify the different cams that she comes with. It takes a little bit. It can be a little confusing. It took me a while to get my hands wrapped around it, and head wrapped around it. But once you find what you're looking for, nice and easy. So with all that being said, let's pop this baby apart, and I'll show you guys the insides of it, the current cam and spring configuration I have set on it. You also do get with it the cable. So these are the Virpil specific cables, which are awesome. They're secure. They do not fall out of the back of the thing. They don't unplug. I love the concept that they came up with this. And you guys are going to see in a moment, there is an option that you could actually use a transit cable to go from one piece to another, so it'll save you a spot on the USB port or a USB hub, which not too bad. So I know you guys are probably wondering, okay, Bugs, you got all these wonderful cams and springs and whatnot. How the hell do we get into it to change that out? No worries, I got you. So what we're going to do first, and you got to be a little bit careful with this. So you guys could see back here, this little plate. I already went ahead and unscrewed it. That's what these 4 small silver screws are for. It's just a lot easier to do it than have it done already with the camera in the hand. So We pop those 4 screws out, and then very gently, we just wiggle this guy right on out. Just like that. Okay, now here's your back panel. This is where you plug your USB cable into, and the auxiliary cable or spot, that is that transit to go from one piece to another. So once you pop this out, just be careful, gentle with it. You do not want to bend those pins. If you do, you're going to be in a world of trouble. So be very careful and mindful with that. Take your time, concentrate with it, don't rush it. So once you have that out, now the back of the joystick's open like that. We can go ahead and remove these 4 screws here, and what that'll do is it'll let the entire joystick come apart. So I have them finger tight. This is no problem to do with the camera. So I just wanted to show you guys a little bit of the disassembly process, just so you can see that it really is this straightforward and simple. And when I do take this off, part of it's going to remain on the sim pit, which is okay. So you're not going to see the bottom plate or the tub in my hand. So I'll show that to you guys in a second, but it's pretty much a little sandwich. So let's pull this straight on up now, and then here we go. Now we have our empty tub. You guys can see the base plate down there, and then the little side piece here. So that's what it is. So down below is where it's bolted to the sim pit. That's why I'm not taking that off, because I don't want to lose the positioning on it. But I do have in my other hand the meat and potatoes of, and the brains of the WarBRD-D. So I'm just going to pop this in my lap right here for a second, guys. Let's actually turn it this way so we don't drop it, because that would be catastrophic. Okay, so here's the spring. I'm just going to grab a little teaching aid here, a pointing aid, a pencil. So we have our extra heavy springs. Like I said before, they were black. That's how you can tell the difference between the heavy standard and the extra heavy. So you have silver, the gold ones, and the black ones. These are the extra heavies that I have in here right now, and the different cams. So you guys can see the different ridges over here. This one has 3 of them on it, the 1, 2, and 3. And this is where they go. So those wrenches that were included, you're going to pop this nut off here, pop this nut off here, but the first thing is to take the springs off. Otherwise, it's going to be virtually impossible, and you have a very good chance of breaking something, or more importantly, injuring yourself, because the spring tension on this is a lot, and this will come flying off, and it could potentially take your eye out or severely injure you. So just use caution and be careful and do it smart, guys. Take the spring off first, make sure these are all loose, and then unbolt this, unbolt that, and then the cams will slide off, and then you can put the new ones on in the correct orientation. To get the springs off, just use a set of needle nose pliers or long nose pliers. Carefully grip it right up over here. Put one end on down here, and then just pull it on and lock it in place. It's super, super simple. If I wasn't holding the camera, I would show you guys. Again, like I said, if you guys want to see how to tear this thing down and change the springs and cams, let me know. I will make a separate video just for that. So we flop it over to the other side here. Here's our other spring and our other 2 cam mounts. There's our roller right here. So I'm going to move this as best as I can for you guys. Don't mind the shakies on the camera for a second. It's a little tricky to do with one hand, but so you guys can see how everything rolls around on the axis with the cams. Super smooth, the springs moving in and out. So Very smooth, very adjustable, and the last part of it that I forgot to mention are the adjustable dampers. So just like the Ava has, we have a damper adjustment here, and then we have another one back up over here. So if we flop this back over on its side again, you guys can see the encoder board right here. Just be very careful with that. That's where those pins go in from that back panel we pulled off. Like I said, just be very careful with those that we don't bend those. And whatever you guys do, do not crease these wires or these wires here or damage this encoder board either. Otherwise, very bad day. But if you look right here, here's one of the adjustable damper setups. So right here is where we'd put our Allen key in. So if we just grab that really quick, and we're going to pop the thing in right through here, you can see that's the screw that it lines up on right here. I'm not going to adjust it. I have it set perfectly right now for what I need, so this is just a demonstration. Here's your screw, and what'll happen is this little spring under here, the more you tighten it or loosen it, will tighten or loosen this damper around this bearing, and that's what will give you your different resistance levels on it. So you guys can play with it, you feel it around, see what works best for you guys. Every pilot's different, everybody's got a different feel, so again, go ahead and play around with it and see what fits best and feels best in your hand. The other one is right back here, so that's this hole up here with that little symbol above it. Again, same thing, you just put the tool through here, and then here's your adjustment point. Same concept. It is nice that you can adjust them on the fly, so it does save a lot of time. Light years ahead of the Thrustmaster Warthog with that. The Ava has a similar concept with the adjustable dampers. The only difference between this and the Ava is this one does not have the swappable throat plates like the Ava does. So if that's not a deal breaker for you guys, I really highly recommend checking out the Virpil WarBRD-D. You guys are not going to be disappointed with it. It's super smooth. It's very well protected with this rubber boot on here, so you don't have to worry about getting dust, dirt, debris, or whatever else down inside underneath here, where it becomes a royal pain in the behind to clean it. And then once it really gums stuff up, then you have to really take the whole thing apart. And you guys could just see how beautifully engineered this is and made this is. These are all solid billet aluminum, or milled aluminum pieces rather, that are machined out, precise, that gorgeous. There's nothing cheaply made about this. There is no plastic on the inside of it whatsoever. The only plastic on here are the connectors for the electronics and whatever the hell the circuit boards are made out of. Anything else in this thing is all metal, so you don't have to worry about breaking a plastic damper like I had happen on the Thrustmaster Warthog, which I'm not turning this into bashing on Thrustmaster or the Warthog base by any means. I still run Thrustmaster stuff on my sim pit. I absolutely love them. I always ran their stuff. I have nothing bad to say about Thrustmaster or their products at all. The little plastic ring in the Warthog base, however, could use a little bit of work. But other than that, that's the only complaint on that one. I really hope you guys enjoyed this, you found this helpful. It'll help you make a decision on what you want to get. I really do recommend the Virpil products. These are compatible with the Thrustmaster grips, which is perfect. So you can put the Warthog grip, the Viper grip on this thing, no problem. Any of the Thrustmaster grips work, no problem. So I even run the Moza MH16 grip on this thing, and it only has one little slight quirk to it, but other than that, it's not terrible. Again, I really hope you guys found this helpful. If you have any questions about it, feel free, let me know in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to answer them for you guys. If you guys want to see a total tear down on how to change the cams and springs on this, let me know. I'll be more than happy to put that together for you guys. I am not sponsored by Virpil. I am not bought or paid for by Virpil. This was bought by myself with my own money, and I just want to pass along the experience that I have with it so far to you guys. Yes, this grip, joystick base rather, is still in use every day. I love it. I would not get rid of it, and I would most certainly buy another one again if I had to. Again, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you found it helpful. Please like, comment, subscribe for more, and check out the Bugs' DCS Cruise Discord. Hop on for a flight. Any support with anything, be more than happy to have you and help you. And until the next sortie, strap in, arm up the seat, and keep flying.